Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the introduction. The piece I'm reading today is inspired by a James Baldwin essay called A Letter to My Nephew. It was a letter to his nephew and in extension, a letter to the rest of the country. And the piece I wrote actually is a letter to my nephew and sort of a letter to the country as well. And I chose to major in documentary filmmaking along with being a lawyer because I just fell in love with storytelling, and I felt that there were many people who were marginalized, whose stories need to be told. So I feel with great conviction that that is the path that I want to pursue. The piece I wrote in my junior year at Duke, and it's titled "America is Always Dying." There is nothing intersectional for the Black man or woman. Not love, not compassion, not forgiveness. We don't reap any guilt or sympathy. We are incapable of coincidence or independence, accident or truth. I learned that if they shoot you in your own home, they'll still raid it, cold and forgotten. Your skin still lay in your sheets where they can see your breath. They'll strip it to its core, call you a liar and an addict, stick their fingers through the pits of you and pull until they cannot, pull until they come up with gold. There is nothing innocent left of a Black child. We are vulnerable and prejudiced, and we beg for mercy when there is none. We are unprotected by our own mothers and fathers. Breathing is an act of faith. Growing is a commitment and a contract. I learned it when I realized as I got older that we are the invisible people. We are invisible to each other and worn thin with our hands being our only connection. This is where I finally understand what this feeling that persists throughout our lives actually is. It is a long pull, drawn from under my tongue. It's short, unsatisfied responses. It's a run, long and tired, and most importantly, it is lonely, where I can see my breath. It is in every single comma I used, a moment where I want to reflect, because it is perpetual reflection. It is longing and desire, it's want and suddenly needing the absolute unattainable. That kind of feeling is scary, wanting to be everything in its entirety and simultaneously nothing at all. This amidst the turmoil of who is most angry, if the white man is guilty of anger, and if the Black man can resign from his own everlasting, but no one has more rage than the unborn child, who has two plans already made for him, one where he is grown to be second best, given second best, and ignored and expected to overcome in a country that does not care about him, the other where he is dead. These are his only choices that don't lie in his hands. This is all anyone will get to decide. We never want to have that conversation about why we should always fear death, about why we should always pay taxes, about the things we always have to do, and the things we'll never control, because then we realize that we are living in inaction and we don't own ourselves. America isn't dead. America is always dying, corner after corner, body after body. It decays and we watch it rot 4 years at a time without our existence ever acknowledged. Our skin is stretched so long and our eyes still sag hot and tearful. America is always dying. The only difference between it and all the other places we think are dead in this world is that we'll suffer blindly, eyes closed, guns cocked, for how long? Thank you.